All right, let's talk about a very depressing and very human, earthly story here about
Yeah.
the social network Instagram and a new report about the way that they have made it very easy and enabled a massive ring of pedophiles to seek out, horrible child pornography on their service. Go ahead and put this up on the screen. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Their headline is Instagram connects vast pedophile network. Let me read you a little bit of this. They say Instagram, the popular social media site owned by Meta Platforms, helps connect and promote a vast network of accounts openly devoted to the commission and purchase of underage sex content, according to investigations by the Wall Street Journal and researchers at Stanford University and the University of Massachusetts Amherst. So this is hardly some, crank conspiracy. This was serious research, and test accounts were set up. Researchers found that if they viewed a single account in this pedophile network, they were immediately hit with suggested for you recommendations of purported child sex content sellers and buyers,
Oh,
as well as accounts linking to off platform content trading sites. Following just a handful of these recommendations was enough to flood a test account with content that sexualized children. The Stanford Internet Observatory used hashtags associated with underage sex to find 405 sellers of what researchers labeled self-generated child sex material or accounts purportedly run by children themselves, some saying they were as young as 12. According to some of the data that was gathered, 112 of those sellers collectively had 22,000 unique followers. Current and former Meta employees estimate the number of accounts that exist primarily to follow such content is in the high hundreds of thousands, if not millions. They used this thinly veiled lingo and emojis. They'd share an image of a map, which is shorthand for minor attracted person. They'd share the cheese pizza emoji, which
ugh.
is, CP, child pornography. Many declare themselves lovers of the little things in life. And what makes this report, I mean, everything about it is just deeply disturbing and grotesque. Obviously, this is a problem that every single social media site has to deal with. But what they go to great lengths to point out, Sagar, in this report is that the problem appears to be far worse on Instagram. They were able to search for all of these, blatantly horrific hashtags with no problem and turn up all sorts of content just immediately. Then the Instagram algorithm would kick in because it's learning like, oh, this is the kind of content you're after. Well, here's 100 more accounts that you can go to find exactly what you want. And after the researchers turned over all of this information to Instagram and they went about taking down a bunch of these accounts and doing what they could to clean it up, well, they haven't fixed the algorithm. So the minute that the accounts reappear, which they oftentimes do, the algorithm is helping sick people who are trying to view this type of content and purchase this type of content. They're helping them in real time rebuild out that network by serving them, okay, well, you lost that account. Here's the new account that's going to give you exactly what you want. So they have apparently done a horrific job of trying to tamp down on this type of child sex abuse and
Yeah.
exploitation.
You know what really shocked me was that they even say in here, documents previously reviewed say that they have actually done work like this successfully in the past to try and suppress accounts on elections like the January 6th denialism. So they basically did more
They can
work
do it when they
around.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did more on January 6th and preventing like election denialism on Instagram than literally cracking down on on literal child, predators. I don't know. I mean, it's sickening. And the fact that this even exists is gross. Matt Stoller had a joke. It's like, yeah, we have an economy of scale for mass pedophilia, apparently. Congratulations to Instagram. Some of this is probably intrinsic to the internet, and sickness is going to breed sickness and people are going to congregate, but you obviously need to make it as difficult as possible. And also, I will say there's actually good laws on the books specifically around preventing this type of behavior and making sure that social media companies, websites, and others do their absolute best. The fact is, if you can get around calling yourself a seller of this type of repulsive content just by putting a 3 instead of an E, that's insane. How is it that
Right.
easy to make it on the internet? I mean, that's just absolutely absurd. So, look, I mean, I'm personally a member of the TCAP community. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's the To Catch a Predator, fans of the To Catch a Predator franchise. That was back in 2006, and people were like, "Oh, things have gotten better since then." I don't know. I mean, reading stuff like this, maybe it's just gotten way worse, and people are better at covering their tracks using the dark web. But it's just look, the FBI. I hope that you people are all over this. Instead of doing, instead of I don't know, focusing on whatever BS, entrapment schemes around politics and all this other crap. Focus. This is your bread and butter, guys. Like this is
Yeah,
this is
should
what they
be.
exist for. And we have good laws on the books to basically, to basically make it so that if you can catch even one of these people, especially the sellers, the distributors of the content, they can be locked up for the rest of their lives. And I really think that they should be. It's just sick.
Just to give you a sense of how readily available this content was, because that's what was so shocking is
Yeah.
it's not like they went to great lengths, these, sickos to
Hmm.
cover their tracks. It was very like you could search really obvious hashtags and come up with all sorts of disgusting, illegal material, exploitative material to give you a sense of how sensitive the algorithm is and how much it does not discriminate over whether your interests are legal or illegal. A woman who runs a community on Instagram that's dedicated to fighting child sex trafficking and exploitation, she received a tip that there was an account out there called incest toddler, which is
Oh.
exactly what you think it is. She went to look it up to verify to then report. And because her account interacted with this account, her followers all start getting recommended incest toddler for their recommendations. That's how sensitive this algorithm is, and how much, if you express even a passing interest in this type of horrific material, it'll serve you up 100 accounts that are say, here, go here, take a look at this. Here's, where you can go. So now that can be very useful if you have a healthy and normal interest. And obviously, it can be horrifically damaging when it comes to something like this. And they have not cared to do the work to make sure that these type of searches get shut down, that this type of content gets shut down and continue even after receiving this information and this research. They say that they're working on changes to the algorithm so this stops happening, but as of today, nothing significant has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Sagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.